Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse game day. Today we're going to preview the Knicks versus Boston Celtics. The Knicks are going for their fifth straight win in a row, and we're going to look at what's going on with this team. They appear to be clicking on both ends right now, and we're going to look at some of the data that speaks about it and who are the key players behind it all. Hello, my name is George. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. If this is your first time here or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, please do so. We're so close to getting to 11,100. Want to get to 12,000 maybe by the end of this the calendar year. We'll see how it goes. If the Knicks keep winning like this, the enthusiasm for the team is going to be going through the roof. Also, if you're watching this later on, just drop your comments. I try to read them all. Share the video. Shout out to the chat. Let's go Knicks. This has been a fabulous run right now. The Knicks are going, they've won 4 in a row. They are 6-2 since OG got hurt. I'm including that Friday night game when OG got hurt in the win column because he only played 5 minutes. If any, I did a live with the Hot Hand Theory guys. I think it was that Sunday after he got hurt, and we speculated, hey, if while OG is gone, let's say we were thinking he was going to miss about 14 games. If while he's gone, the Knicks go 9-5, would you sign up for that? Everybody was absolutely yes. They would sign up for just 500. Well, the Knicks are, if they win tonight and he does miss 14 games, they'll be basically guaranteeing that they will have won at least 50% of their games during that period. I think they're going to keep this stretch going. They face the Boston Celtics tonight. The Celtics are definitely better than I anticipated that they would be. After losing Tatum and trading away KP and Drew Holiday, but other guys have stepped up big time. And, Jaylen Brown, fabulous player, all NBA level. Derek White, I call him Alien Baby. He is a fantastic two-way player. Pritchard has been coming up with some big games recently. And Kata, he's been holding it down in the middle for them. They also lost Luke Cornett as well. So all of that given, but that just shows, what a great coach Mazzulla is. And the system, he hasn't gone away from his system. It keeps working for them. So they're going to be difficult. They're going to be a difficult challenge, but I expect the Knicks to be able to take care of it, to handle it tonight. I really do. Let's get into it. Here we go. Oh, shout out to Lexus Story. Thanks for joining me, brother. Yes, hit the thumbs up button for me. Definitely. All right, this man right here has been outstanding of late. Let me just put something into perspective here for you. Since OG's injury, he has been the 7th most impactful player on the offensive end in the entire NBA. That's right. When you talk about minutes played, at least played 25 minutes or more and played at least 6 games. You count those factors in, he is the 7th most highest offensive rating player in the NBA. 7th. Think about that. When the Knicks lost OG was the overall 9th most impactful player in the NBA. And that was going to be tough to overcome. And that was a net rating, by the way. That was a net rating, the 9th most impactful. So Mikal has stepped it up offensively, and check out, there is one player on the Knicks that has a higher offensive rating than Mikal Bridges. Jalen Brunson. This man right here. Jalen Brunson, the East Conference Player of the Week. His offensive rating is 126.6, which is 6th best since OG got hurt. And Mikal's is 126.0, which is 7th best. But the good news doesn't stop there. 22nd in the NBA, Deuce McBride during that stretch. And he did miss one game during that stretch. 120.9 for him. That's 22nd best in the NBA. 25th best, Josh Hart with a 120.4. Fabulous, because he was killing this team beforehand. He was the worst defensive rated player on the team, and he couldn't make a bucket. He has caught fire, and he needed to. I think I woke his ass up personally, because right in my thumbnail, I put Hart hurting team. I put it right, because I know they see this stuff. I've been doing this for a long time now. And I have had direct communication with several players, not directly like mouth to mouth, but mouth to ear. But I know that they see what we talk about here. And he needed that wake-up call. And I'm glad it's happened. Because I said right out, if he keeps playing like that, there's no way he's staying on this team. But he's turned it around. Now he's got to keep it going, though. This is not, he does it for 2 weeks and now we forget about everything. No, he's got to keep this going. He cannot dial down the energy level. That's what he is. He has to be, he's a chaos agent. And if he's not creating chaos, positive chaos for the Knicks out on the floor, then he's hurting the team. But he has totally turned it around, and his offensive rating is fabulous right now, 120.4. Bringing up the rear on this team right here. In 29th place in the entire NBA in offensive rating is Karl Anthony Towns with a 119.4. So all 5 of the new Knicks starters, are in the top 30 of offensive players right now. Now, when you look at the defensive end, it's not as exciting, Brunson is ranked 50th with a 113.9, but for him, that's pretty good. McBride, though, fabulous. The best on the team since OG has gone down. His defensive rating is 110.6, which is 35th best, and right behind him is Josh Hart with a 110.8, with 36th best. Towns is 48th with a 113.6, and Mikal Bridges, interestingly enough, is the lowest rated defensive player of the starting unit, but still with a 116.4, which is 69th best. So even though his offense has clicked up, his defense has also clicked up, but he also shares the court with a lot of the bench players. That second unit with Clarkson, with Yabusele. He shares the floor with those guys, and those guys aren't as strong defensively in general, so it kind of impacts him in that way. But when it comes down to net rating, this is it. This is the ultimate. But now, again, it's still early in the season, but it's nice to look at during this stretch when OG's been out, this team has stepped it up. Brunson, 13th best in the NBA with a 12.7, a plus 12.7. That means the team is better than their opponents per 100 possessions by almost 13 points per game when he's on the court. McBride is number 2 on this team with a 10.2, which is 22nd best in the NBA. I mean, when you consider Deuce's contract, what a bargain. Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges are both tied with 9.6. So they're almost 10 points better when they're on the court per 100 possessions. That's good for 26th place on this list. And then Towns is a plus 5.8, which is 39th best. So still, all 5 of those Knicks are in the top 40 players in the NBA since OG went down. So it's been a collective team effort to make up for his incredible efficiency. Now, remember, OG was 9th in the overall when he left. So that just shows, so imagine when he returns to this team, how potent this team is going to be, especially, not just offensively, especially defensively, but offensively as well. Now, check this out. Plus minus players of the week. Josh Hart was a plus 76 in 4 games last week. Fantastic. That is outstanding. And that is why his numbers have ticked up tremendously. And the Knicks, the Knicks would not have gone 4-0 without him playing the way he did last week. Fantastic. Going the wrong way, Derek Queen from the Pelicans there was a minus 68 in his 4 games last week. Now, he's a rookie. He's trying to learn the NBA game. But check this out. The best corner three shooters in the NBA right here. This is put out by Tip Off Ball. The top right there in the green area, that's the cream of the crop. That is high volume, which is at least, OG's the only one with 3 corner attempts per game or more. And then percentage. So the higher up into the corner, the better. OG is clearly the best 3-point corner shooter in the NBA. So when he returns in this Mike Brown offense, sky's the limit. But look who's in there as well in the cream of the crop quadrant. Shamet, right on the borderline there, and Mikal Bridges. He is also a corner demon himself. In fact, earlier in the year, he was leading the NBA in corner 3-point shooting. The Knicks have elite players here, guys. This is the beautiful story here. And just to get a little more close up for you guys, just to see. Look at this. Look at that. There aren't that many players in this quadrant. Max Christie's having an incredible season. Tari Eason, who I would love. Look at him. He's the top up there in actual efficiency, but not necessarily in volume. I'd love him to be on this team. And then you see Jabari Smith, and I think Champelli, Con Knuppel. Man, the Hornets got themselves a real player right there. So here's some more good news. Actually, let's get to this here, because this was I put this out in the recap yesterday. That OG has been doing some on-court work and 3-on-3 scrimmaging. And according to Mike Brown, no timetable for his return. That was 2 days ago. But Brown says it's encouraging he's doing on-court work. And then further down, it says he's not cleared for contact. He's doing controlled court work with 3-on-3 scrimmaging. He's doing some on-court work, and we're continuing to monitor him. We're not going to rush him. Then this guy, Rob Murrows, put this out yesterday. Now, I don't know. I can't verify him at all. I don't know who he is, but I'm putting this out there because I like what it said. It said, sources, New York Knicks forward OG Anunoby is targeting a return to the lineup on December 7th. Home game against the Orlando Magic. That would be this Sunday. That would be fabulous. And that kind of falls in line with what the news we got. We got news on Sunday that he was already doing some 3-on-3 scrimmaging. You know, you can only, if you're healthy enough to do that, if your hammy feels well enough to do that, then, you know, it's only a matter of 7 to 10 days before you're out on the court. So here it was about 7 days, 8 days, depending on when he had started scrimmaging. So keep an eye out for that. Lots of good news coming there if he returns to the court soon. All right, let's get back to this here. This has been something special in Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, shout out to Fireside Knicks for putting out they've been putting out some great stats and graphics and stuff. I love it. NBA stocks leaders since November 11th, which happens to be the game right before OG got hurt. Now, stocks are a combination of steals and blocks. Mikal Bridges is number 1 in the NBA. Better than Scotty Barnes, who is a stocks beast, by 12. Since November 11th. He has 44 stocks, combined steals and blocks. Scotty Barnes is 32. Jay Huff is 28. Zach Edey, that giant tree, 24. And Jalen Johnson has 24 for the Atlanta Hawks. So Mikal has 20 more stocks than Zach Edey and Jalen Johnson. Fantastic. His ability to bother opponents' dribble and just poke balls away and just take off down on the other end and just dunk it or lay it in has been a revelation. This is something we didn't see enough of last season. The Thibodeau defensive scheme doesn't allow that kind of gambling. Well, now we're doing it. We're gambling it appropriately, and now it's paying off. And also, OG has been a beast in getting steals like that, too. Not necessarily as many blocks, because Mikal's got that great ability to come off the weak side to get those blocks or just chase down opponents, because he's actually deceptively fast. Mikal is deceptively quick. This has been also a big revelation for the Knicks right now. Man, they are starting to really gel. Now, I just talked about all the offensive numbers. The defense has been impressive as well, not as impressive as the offense, but overall, when it all balances out, the New York Knicks are right now one of the best teams in the NBA. Now, here's a negative thing here. This is one of the things that Knicks, especially Josh Hart, has to work on. This is blow-bys, defending the drive. On 106 drives, Josh Hart got blown by 34.91% of the time, almost 35% of the time, which amounted to 1.58 points per direct blow-by, which is the worst on this list. So he corrects that. The defense gets even tighter. That's one of the issues that I have with him defensively. He finds himself often out of position. He gambles a little too much, and then he gets burned. So that's something he's got to become more disciplined at. Now, this is the whole season. So let's say maybe he's improved on this since the OG injury. So I'm just putting this out there. This is from All NBA, All City. It's a great stat. And then Dylan Backer. I love this. Point differential at home for East Conference teams this season. Knicks are number 1 with a plus 141. This is at home. The next closest are the Raptors with a plus 72. The Knicks have almost doubled up more differential points than the next closest team in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference. Number 3 is the Heat with a plus 66, and the Celtics at home a plus 62. Now I think, wait, the game today is it at home? You know, I should actually, let me confirm that. Is it at home? No, it's away. Okay, so I had a feeling it was away. I was like, wait a second. So it's away. So this is what I'm saying. This is going to be a nice challenge, this game for the Knicks. A really nice challenge. With the Celtics, they have been a very, very good home team. And so have the Pistons. They're a plus 61. But this disparity is tremendous for the Knicks. It's great to see the Knicks owning the home court. It's a complete reversal to last season, where we were getting our asses kicked at home, and it was embarrassing. It was demoralizing. They finally overcame that to some degree, but even in the playoffs, it kind of happened as well. So now, to establish dominance at home and then to begin picking up wins on the road is the key. The Knicks were winless on the road before OG went down, but since then, the Knicks have picked up a decent amount of wins. Now, this is interesting because this speaks to why the Boston Celtics have been winning more games than I expected them to win. They are taking care of the ball. They are doing a great job of taking care of the ball. They have committed the fewest bad pass turnovers in the NBA so far this season, which they have committed less than 70. And the Knicks are second best in that, in terms of not making bad passes. Right there. They're the second best 80th. So the two teams today, I don't expect a lot of turnovers. But if the Knicks can force the Celtics into making some bad passes, some mistakes, that would be a tremendous advantage for the team moving forward into through the game. The Celtics are, right now, they're in 8th place in the East. They're 11-9, so they're a plus 500 team. And they have, in the last 10 games, they've won 7. And then at home, their home record, though, is only 6-4. Even though the points differential at home is that high for them. Interesting. They must have had several blowouts at home, and the losses must have been close games, I'm imagining, for them to be on that list with the Knicks. But the Knicks, look at this. Look at that dominance. They are 10-1 at home, and they are 3-5 on the road. Knicks are looking to pick up their 4th road victory today, and go to 14-6, which would be a 700 winning percentage, which is on track for 60 wins. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Love it. Love it. All right. There we go. These are the team stats comparing the two teams. Take a moment to shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. Deuce is loose. Deuce has been crazy on fire lately. I believe he has shot 14. He has made 14 of his last 17 three-pointers. Something insane like that. He caught fire just at the right time. We needed it. You can see the Knicks just didn't look good that one game that he didn't play. And they just need his ability to space the floor. And his willingness to take three-pointers. I love it. I love it. He is so confident right now. He has so much courage out there, and him sharing the court with Brunson has been fantastic for these Knicks. That's been a fantastic thing for these Knicks. In fact, let's look at those stats here. I want to check those out here. Yeah, he's been fabulous. 2-player lineups. Here we go. Where is it? I had it here before. Oh, well, I'll find it. I'll find it later for you guys. Let's get into this here. The team stats for both teams right now. The Knicks have a 13-6 record, while Boston's 11-9. Knicks are second in the standings. Boston is 8th. The home and away record. Knicks are now 3-5, where they started off 0-4. The Celtics are 6-4 at home, so they're winning at home, but they're not dominating. The offensive rating, the two teams are very close in offensive rating right now. the Knicks are third best in the NBA, and the Boston Celtics are fourth right now. Is this the East? I don't think that is correct. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is correct. It is correct. So we have the two best offenses here. This is just looking at the East here. Knicks, 120.5 offensive rating as a team. Celtics, 119.5. So there's going to be a lot of scoring today. Defensively, they're both not as strong. Obviously, Knicks are seventh best in the East, and the Celtics are right behind them, eighth best with almost a 115 defensive rating. Knicks are 113. But when it comes down to net rating, Knicks are clearly the cream of the crop right now in the East, a plus 7.4. Even that's almost 2 points above the league leading in record of the Detroit Pistons, where the Celtics are down 4.2. So the Knicks are 3.2 net rating points better than the Boston Celtics right now. Okay. And said it right there. Well, I just showed you the numbers. Okay, let's keep going. Here are the team leaders for each team. Both the leaders are averaging almost identical numbers, points per game. Jalen Brunson is at 28.5 points per game, where Jaylen Brown's at 28.4, almost identical. Towns has been dominating the boards. I think he's second best in the entire NBA with nearly 12 rebounds per game. And Kata is at 8.5. He's been a nice addition to the team for the Celtics, but I do believe the Knicks should be able to dominate the boards again today. Assists, Brunson is at 6.2. I'd love for his assists to kick up to 7, to average at least 7 per game. That'd be really sweet to see. And Derek White is at 5.1, leading the Boston Celtics. What's up? Shout out to Drew Reviews. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Zach, New York to LA. Bridges is playing all deep NBA defense. He is. He's been fabulous. I mean, the way he suffocated Brandon Ingram, the way he just made his night miserable. He got off to such a bad start. He finally made a few buckets after a while, but he could just never get in a groove, and that's one of the reasons the Knicks were able to dominate the Toronto Raptors the other night. Here is the previous matchup, which was the second game of the season, the very, very early. It's been so long. It feels like so long ago since they played. It was October 24th. Knicks won that game by 10, 105-95. That was at MSG. Brunson delivered a big 31 points. Jaylen Brown delivered 23 for the Celtics. Josh Hart had a monster 14 rebounds. And Kata had 7. Jalen Brunson 5 assists. And Peyton Pritchard had 5 assists. And this is the last 5 games for the Knicks. They're on a 4-game winning streak. Their last loss was against the Orlando Magic, who the Knicks will play on Sunday. And if OG returns for that, that would be fabulous. That would really be fabulous. The Knicks lost that game against Orlando by 12. Man, that loss still bothers me. But then the Knicks, they feasted on some inferior opponents, the Nets. They won that 113-100, and they destroyed the Charlotte Hornets 129-101. The Hornets, who have been playing, they beat somebody of note recently. Didn't they beat the Pistons? Yeah, they won some interesting games recently, and then the Knicks basically disrobed the Milwaukee Bucks 118-109, and then completely suffocated the Toronto Raptors. Didn't even let them crack the century mark. Kept them under 100, only allowed 94 points, while they racked up 116 points in their last game. And then let's look at Boston's last game here. Boston beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland 117-115. It's a nice win for the Boston Celtics. Then they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves 119-115 before that. Then they're at home. They beat the Detroit Pistons. And the Pistons have only lost 4 games. So I think one of them was the Hornets they lost to, and then the Celtics here. They lost to them 117-114. Again, close games. Close games here. They won. They beat the Orlando Magic 138-129. So there you go. But I think that game the Magic had just played the Knicks the night before, if I'm correct here. And then they had to go up to Boston to play Celtics. So they lost that game by 9 points there. But still, a win is a win. You got to take care of your. Look at this. And then the Celtics lost to the Nets at home, 113-105. NBA is such a weird game. So weird. So weird, man. Holy shit. All right, man. If you want to join the channel, it'd be awesome. You can also gift someone a subscription as well. It's a nice way to contribute to the channel. It definitely helps keep everything rolling over here, and you get discounts on merch. Actually, there will be a holiday discount dropping for everybody soon, so look out for that for the Knicks-Verse store, and there'll be an additional discount for members on top of that for holidays as a special thank you as well. So check that out. And you know, here's some of the merch itself. There will be some new merch that will be presented recently. Check it out this week. Because you have to put your orders in before like December 11th or something like that, which I'll also announce that as well. All right. Well, the Knicks and Celtics, classic matchup. This will be a fun game. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Drew's Review says Mike Brown has been a godsend to the franchise. Worldwide West and James Dolan are true heroes. You know, that's an interesting thing, because you know there's definitely a big camp of people that were upset that Thibodeau was fired, especially after being 6 games away from a championship, 2 games away from the finals. But it was pretty obvious that the team wasn't really going to ever reach that goal with Thibodeau playing the style of play that he played, and using those players the way he used them, overusing them, to be very specific, overusing them. And so in that respect, sometimes you have to make these tough decisions, and you have to commend the Knicks for doing it. And look what's happened. They're being rewarded. Right now, they are clearly the cream of the crop in the East. Look at this right here in net rating. This is for the whole season, by the way. I'm not filtering out since OG or anything, or this is the entire season, the entire 19 games that they have played. And then when you look at it in comparison to the entire league offensive rating, they have the 3rd best offense in the NBA right now, 120.5. But their defensive rating, you know what? It's just shy of the top 10. 113.1, and it's been trending in the right direction. But the net rating is what it's all about. They're 4th best in the NBA, 7.4. It's hard to argue with that. And they're doing it by shooting, by getting into the paint, getting more catch and shoot attempts, getting more spot up attempts than last year, by getting about 30% more than last year attempts. But they're hitting them at relatively the same percentage. That's beautiful, because the Knicks could shoot last year. They were a great shooting team, but they didn't do enough to get looks from distance, which is the difference maker in this game. And on drives, just getting to the hoop as well. Definitely the efficiency sometimes needs to improve. And it has of late. Guys like Josh Hart have been doing it, Brunson as well. So everything's starting to click for this offense, and now the defense as well is starting to gel much better. And that also comes from understanding, the tendencies of your opponents, and being more connected and talking to each other on the defensive end, being more vocal. I think also bringing Mitch off the bench, it's great that Mike Brown went with that. He saw that Hart was struggling coming off the bench, that he didn't like his undefined role, wasn't sure how many minutes he was going to get each night, or at what point was he going to be the first guy off the bench or the second guy off the bench. He didn't like that uncertainty. It's a shame that it had to be that way, but the fact that Mike Brown made the switch and it's worked. Now Josh Hart is playing infinitely better than he was, and now Mitch Robinson is coming off the bench and providing a defensive spark, and it also it helps energize the team as a whole. When you see Mitch getting up there and just cleaning the glass, 1 offensive rebound, 2, 3 in a possession, or he does a putback dunk, it totally electrifies the team itself. So Right now, everything's clicking, man. Everything's clicking. And I honestly, hey, look, it's tough to keep momentum going forever, obviously, except if you're OKC, who's 20-1 right here. And this is with Jalen Williams. I think he only returned like 3 or 4 games ago, and he's shooting terribly. But look at them; they're still one of the top. They are the top defensive rating team in the NBA, 103.6. This defense net rating of plus 15.3, I think would be a record. I think it would be a record right now. And there are the Knicks right there. So this is it, man. This is it. I'm expecting by the midpoint of the season, game 41, for the Knicks to have overtaken Detroit in the standings. It'd be the clear best team in the East. And where before it looked like it was going to be a 2-team tier with Cleveland and Knicks. I don't think Cleveland is going to make it into that tier. I think Cleveland's going to be in the tier with the Pistons, the Orlando Magic, Pistons and Orlando Magic pretty much. The Miami Heat are there right now. I don't know if they'll be able to maintain it, but we shall see. They always seem to get hit with a bad injury here and there. But, Spoelstra, you cannot underestimate his brilliance. So he could be in that tier as well. Look at the Toronto Raptors. They're missing RJ tremendously. He's been fabulous for them. Actually, interestingly, before RJ got hurt, because I was looking at those stats of the best offensive in net rating players since OG got injured, which is November 13th, RJ was in the top 15. And by the way, IQ was in the top. It was like also in the top 15, and that's why the Raptors went on a 9-game win streak. But that's the Raptors. We'll see them. I definitely think they will win anywhere from 42 to 45 games. But that puts them. I don't think that puts them in the tier right below the true contenders tier. And I think the true contenders tier will be clearly the Knicks by themselves in the East by game 41. That's my prediction. That's my prediction here. The way things are going. And the way the Knicks are doing this without their actual overall best player, especially defensively, net rating player. That's truly eye-opening. But Knicks are facing some tough opponents coming up. They face, well, not necessarily. Celtics are a tough opponent. Then they play the Hornets tomorrow. So it's a back-to-back that makes it tough, but they're playing them at home. And then they play the Utah Jazz at home on Friday. That should be a relatively easy-ish game for them. And then they play the Magic, who they've lost twice to already. They play them on Sunday. So this will be interesting. If the Knicks can go, honestly, Knicks, I want them to go 4-0. I want another 4-0. We were 4-0 last week. Let's do it again this week. I want a 4-0. If we go 3-1, I'll be very happy. But I don't want the one loss to be to the Magic. Putting it that way. Circle December 7th. Circle December 7th. Because this guy, maybe he's right. Maybe Rob Morrows is right. And OG will be available. Let's see. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing right here? It says sources. New York Knicks. It doesn't say who. It just says sources. So we'll see about that. But that would be sweet. Yeah. All right. You guys have been awesome in the chat, man. I'm going to read this in a little bit. Also, Hot Take Deuce should still start even when OG returns. That's going to be interesting. Well, then that puts Hart back into the role that he was struggling with. But even though remember, Hart was never a starter or wasn't a starter until he came to the Knicks. And then it was he who recommended to Thibs that Mitch should start in the playoffs. And that in that team, the way that team was coached and run, that was definitely the right decision. And I still don't know if not starting Mitch is the right decision either. This is why it's great to experiment, try different things, gather data, Sometimes it's a chemistry thing, you know. So we'll see. We'll see over the long run. But it's definitely proven that McCall, that Deuce McBride. I'm going to go to cleaning the glass. Deuce McBride and Brunson sharing the court together is a fabulous combination. Yeah, let me pull this up here. Should have gone here first. All right, let's go here. Let's filter the lineups. On court, Brunson. On court, Deuce McBride. Filter lineups. Look at this. The team is a plus 13.1. Any lineup construction that has Brunson and McBride in it, a plus 13.1. Fabulous. Love that. Get that offensively, and it's really offensively. They're just demons. 128.4 points per 100 possessions. That's a 98th percentile. The differential is 93rd percentile. Even defensively, it's not, that debilitating. They're in the 55 percentile. These are two small guards. But Deuce is a fabulous defender. Fabulous defender. So, a big argument. It's a very, very good case there to keep Deuce in the lineup, in the starting lineup, when OG returns. Oh, man. It's an exciting game tonight. It's going to be on Peacock. So just if you're not, I think MS in New York you still get an MSG, but it's going to be on Peacock, and I think Clyde and Breen are going to be doing the commentary for MSG. Man, I hope they carry their commentary on Peacock. Sometimes you don't get that. I had to listen to Stan Van Gundy the other night. He was literally wrong on so many things. It got comical after a while. Pretty comical. All right, so Knicks. I'm saying you guys drop it in the comments. I want to hear you guys what you think. 4-0. I'm saying 4-0. Let's go. 4-0. Let's go. 4-0. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm predicting. 4-0. Oh, we got a nice crowd here in the chat. We got over 175 people. It's fabulous. Sometimes that's one of the things I wish I could read what you guys are saying here in the chat while I'm doing my thing here. This looks like a Greek name here. I can't read that myself personally, but it says, I think Giannis is going to the Knicks. He deleted everything about Bucks on his Instagram. Hello from Greece. Oh, he is from Greece. Oh, man. Giannis is such an amazing player. But I don't know, the way the team is going now, the way the Knicks are going right now. I don't know. Yeah, Ian Eagle. Okay, that's that way. They were annoying, right? Did you have to listen to them too, Lex? They were annoying. They were wrong on so many calls, that challenges and everything. And they were like, "Oh, I don't see the foul there." And like, clearly, there's a foul on the hand. It was so annoying to listen to all that. Giannis, I don't even want to think about the Giannis thing. Sorry. Right now, I'm enjoying what's happening here. I'm enjoying watching the team evolve. Brown said it was going to take some time, and it's starting to happen now. They're really gelling now. And the fact that they're able to do this was also going to be a great learning period. That's another thing that grew out of that collab that I did with XJ and Jeff from Hot Hand Theory, which was these next X amount of games. We thought it would be about anywhere from 11 to 14 games where the OG would miss. We were hoping it was just that at the time. You never know. He could have missed a month and a half, 2 months. We don't know. But luckily, it seems like it's only going to be about 3 to 3.5 weeks in total from when he got hurt. That this was going to be a period of time to gather the experiment, to gather data, try different things out. And that's what Brown has been doing. He pivoted away from the Mitch lineup, and it's totally paid off. His willingness to give Tyler Kolek some minutes. Tyler Kolek We haven't even talked about him. I mean, I've said this before. If you guys have watched this channel before, you know that I believe he is probably one of the very best passers in the entire NBA. Yeah. The problem is that he doesn't get enough time on the court to show us that. And one of the main reasons was because defensively, he had cement shoes. I mean, I don't know what happened to Tyler Kolek in the summer league. I was texting with Foxy about this. To me, it seemed like, it was like, what's that? There's like a fairy tale where the prince and the pauper, and they switch roles. And I was like, he has like a twin brother who sucked at basketball, but always wanted to play in an NBA game. So Tyler said, all right, we'll switch places. You put on my jersey. I'm going to go hang out at the MGM Grand Pool, hit on some hotties, and you play, because he was horrible in that summer league. I was really concerned. But then Malcolm Brogdon came around. I thought, okay, so we're going to have our backup point guard there, but then he retires. So I've been concerned about the backup point guard situation, but the way Tyler Kolek has been playing of late, shout out to him, man. I have been really, truly impressed. His passing ability, his willingness to take shots. He's been beating guys off the dribble. He's been getting to the glass, kissing it high off the glass, and making the buckets. He has been giving some quality backup minutes off the bench. And shout out to Mike Brown for giving him a look. He was buried on that bench. I mean, like right now, Huck Bordy is basically buried on the bench. I don't know what Huck Bordy did to do it, but I would imagine it has something to do with energy level and concentration and focus, staying focused in the game flow. I would imagine it's that. Shout out to Lord Ant. What's up, brother? What else we got here? 4-0. All right. I like that. I mean, it does feel like even a 3-1 will be disappointing. Definitely feels like that. The cup game is December 9th, right? I think that's Toronto. So that's next week, I believe. Not 100%. So many games every day. I mean, it just comes. I've been watching a lot of other games too. I don't know if you guys have the league pass and you can watch other games. It's fabulous. It's great to see how other teams are approaching offense and defense. It's like, and it's kind of like scouting as well. And that's what makes me even more bullish on what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks offense is so potent. Like, this team suddenly can just rack up points it's like without even in a blur. They go on so many runs, then they get then the energy level, they hit a low, and then they allow the opponent to go on a run. That's the kind of stuff they have to clean up, because against really great teams, Knicks will get punished. Now, I'm expecting that they won't lose their focus against the great opponents like OKC's, Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, the Nuggets, teams like that of that level. They won't, in Cleveland. I'm going to put them in there. They won't lose they won't go through those lulls as they do against. They end up taking some teams for granted. They end up playing with their food a little too much, and it ends up burning them. And sometimes, and last season we saw that did happen, and it actually resulted in losses. This year so far, it's been okay. They've got 6 losses. 2 of them are to Orlando. One of them was to the Bucks. The Knicks' ability to dial up the energy once they've let it the air out of the balloon out. They're able to refill that balloon and regain momentum, and that is the mark of a really, really good team. So that's why I'm bullish. That's why I've been watching a lot of other teams to see what happens. And the Knicks they're pulling it off, and also they have so many weapons offensively, and the defensive intensity has increased tremendously on this team. That's another big thing. They're still allowing, a high volume of 3-point shots to be made. They're still allowing a lot of volume, a high percentage of shots at the rim to be made. But all in all, the Knicks are one of the top teams in points differential right now. And that it's their defense is getting better. I want to see that. I think there's a lot more room for improvement defensively. And this guy right here, Jalen Brunson, he has improved. For him, when you compare it to him to last season and the season before, he's definitely improved as a defender. It's like he's been going in there to try to get those create turnovers. He's been like he tries to frustrate the opponents, especially on the dribble. Enjoying that tremendously. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. The game begins in about, who knows? You know how something they say 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock. They say 8 o'clock, but then the games don't start till like 8:15 or whatever. Again, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for rolling up. We got Terrell White in the house. Droop the Loop. What's up? Eric Rodriguez. And the best mod around, Clyde the Destroyer. Adrian Reality, what's up? Shout out to you. Peace to you, brother. Let's see, we got everybody else here. We got over 187 people right now. It's fabulous. I'm going to be doing a recap. Obviously, always do a recap. Not sure. I rarely go live right now in this part of the season. That's more like in the second half of the season where I go live for recaps. But you never know. This is like a tremendous win and something fabulous happens outside of just, a win. I might go live. But you guys check out the merch store. It'd be great to, especially for the holidays coming up. And share the video and share any of the videos of Into the Knicks-Verse. That would be great. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Drop your comments if you're watching this later on. I read them all and I appreciate them tremendously. You guys are my collaborators on this. If I overlook something or there's something you want to expound upon that I may have said, drop it in there. I appreciate it tremendously. All right, let's pick up this win tonight. This would be a sweet win. Get that 5th win in a row. Get the 14-6, 700 winning percentage. That's what I want. I like beautiful, clean numbers like that. Let's go. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go.